Hello, listeners. If you've enjoyed these narrations, please click on that like and subscribe button. The other night, after the incident in the basement, I threw out the book. I threw it straight out into the dumpster and didn't look back. I assumed that would be the end of it. I went to my pet-sitting job with a clear mind and hopeful outlook. The rest of the day went great, actually. That immense exhaustion I was feeling wore off with each passing hour. I felt free. I went into the basement to finish my laundry. No knocking. No sense of someone watching me. Scout hasn't growled or barked or even whined. I had a great night's sleep too and woke up rejuvenated. I went out for breakfast. I completed our chores and then took Scout for a walk. All that silly paranoia and stress over a book. It was just a book. The more I pondered it, the more naive I felt. I couldn't believe I let a book dictate my emotions and actions like that. Everything was going fine, I foolishly thought, even though this sounds absolutely insane, that I had beat whatever that book had done to me. Whatever it was, just my mind making mountains from molehills. Or if it magically was some shadow monster unleashed in my house. I thought I had won. I had never been more wrong. When I got home from picking up dinner yesterday night, what waited for me on my coffee table, as if I hadn't touched it since the day before? The book. The book wide open. I dropped the bag with my sub and chips, and my entire body froze. I slowly approached it. And even though I had left off of page 9, it was open to page 8. There's nothing you can do to get away. There's nowhere to go that it won't find you. An array of curse words met the tip of my tongue, but none broke through my lips. Before I could begin to process the absurdity of the situation, I realized something else. Scout didn't meet me when I came in. She hadn't even made an appearance. I strode across the living room, my eyes glued to the book as I passed it and called for my dog. I checked my room. Not there. I checked the kitchen. Nope. I checked the bathroom. My dog was nowhere to be found. I continued to call to her. Louder each time. Small, rapid footfalls finally answered, extending the staircase from the basement. I opened the basement door and up flew Scout. Through the door and into my room. She jumped on the bed and curled up, her ears down, tail tucked. I called for her softly and extended my hand, asking how she got down there in the first place, as if she actually would reply. She retreated. I got up and scurried to the other side of the mattress. Being down there for a bit must have spooked her. I had parked my car in the garage and thought maybe I'd left the door open by mistake. Scout is a curious girl, you see, but what would make her act like this towards me? She's always happy to see me when I get home. My head snapped towards the coffee table, to the book. I went to it, staring at the words, and then snatched it and sat on the couch. I flipped to page 10, and suddenly determination overwhelmed me. It's just a stupid book. It has no power. I didn't know how it got back into my house, but I wasn't going to let it control me. Not anymore. How did it come to be? It's everywhere and nowhere. I continued reading the book. It searches for a being to call its own. You're losing in a land you can't escape. A reflection that walks without a mirror. It isn't you, and yet it is. What it is doesn't elude you. It couldn't be your neighbors, your family, or your friends. It's closer than you think, and it's here to stay. All it needs is your name. My eyes were fixed on the final page, that final sentence that differed from the rest of the book. A single line, 6 words. All it needs is your name. A burst of anger shot through me and I threw the book. It collided with the wall opposite me, leaving silence. save for my heavy breaths in its wake. I paced the room, nails digging into my scalp. It's just a book, but if I toss it, it would just come back, right? Like before. What should I do? What did any of this mean? Scout whined. I hurried to my bedroom where she was just laying there, whining. I went to pet her and she retreated again, cowering, as if I was some sort of stranger. Then the knocking arose again. It was crisp and clear, but it was far enough away that I couldn't pinpoint where it was coming from until I saw I hadn't closed the basement door. I walked into the doorway and peered down at the figure in the darkness. It was still, silent, and featureless. It was the first time I had faced it head on. "What do you want?" The question was quiet. The fists I balled weren't. It didn't respond. "What do you want?" My voice reverberating off the walls. "What do you want? What do you want? What do you want?" Each time I got louder, more determined, more desperate. Tears pricked my eyes. "What do you want from me?" "Alice?" I whipped around to find my roommate in the living room, a look of pure horror on her face. The moment was short-lived as my stomach hardened at the terrifying realization. My name. I turned back to the foot of the staircase. The figure was gone. I backed away and closed the door slowly, feeling almost manic. My name. My name. My name. My name. I said nothing to my roommate. I went into my room, shut my door, and climbed into bed, still wearing the jeans and sweatshirt I had all day. I suddenly felt defeated, defenseless, scared. I left my light on. Not the unicorn light, no, the overhead light. I'm so tired. I'm so scared. I've never been this scared in my life. Scout's at the end of my bed. She hasn't taken her eyes off of me. The floorboard has been creaking again, and there was the sound akin to something dragging along a wall. It was midnight when the footsteps stopped outside my door.
Ignore the knocking at your door. Keep the lights on and it'll stay away. You'll hear a familiar plea and scream and cry. Don't give in. Don't search for it. It has already found you. There's no use hiding. It knows where you are. The day is your friend, for shadows reside only in the dark. Once you let it in, it will never leave. Don't close your eyes. Don't fall asleep. When it has caught you, praying won't help. You'll never see the light of day again. There's nothing you can do to get away. There's nowhere to go that it won't follow. And the shadows will remain in yours. The closer it creeps, the weaker you'll become. How did it come to be? It's everywhere and nowhere. It searches for a being to call its own. You're lost in a land you can't escape. A reflection that walks without a mirror. It isn't you, and yet it is. What it isn't doesn't elude you. It could be your neighbors, your friends. It's closer than you think. It's here to stay. All it needs is your name.